Good morning. Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. We are going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 6th of June. It is a Thursday. We do have a 3-game day slate and a 7-game main slate. 3-gamer I wasn't really going to talk about, but I suppose we can just touch on it really quick. A reminder that this is a first look pitching video. I do try to go more in depth for the members at DFS Army, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. My pitching pool on FanDuel will be a lot smaller just because we don't have to be as creative due to the easier pricing, I guess I will call it, for hitters and stacking purposes. But let's take a quick look at the day slate. Not a ton to look at, of course, but Kikuchi's actually a favorite against Baltimore. And I don't mind him being at home, but really I'm interested in how Cade Povich shows up. Uh, Super strong K numbers in the minors. Toronto isn't a huge K team, but their offense overall this season has been a bit lackluster. I know Vladdy and Springer might have started to heat up a little bit, at least from the home run standpoint, but I am really interested in Povich. Just a long term thing, but his K upside is really nice. So there's some intrigue for GPP purposes. Brian Wu has been throwing the ball ridiculously well. Strikeouts haven't been there the last couple, which is kind of weird, but he's just been really strong this year. Last year, I loved picking on him with bats, um, especially left-handed bats. But this year, he's kind of evened out some splits. The issue here is pitch count wise. He peaked at 79 in his second start, and he's been gone down ever since. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but it's obviously something to pay attention to. Plenty of K upside for him in this matchup. JP Sears on the other side, plenty of K upside against Seattle. I have a feeling Seattle's going to be a fairly popular stack. I do like them, but maybe Sears at home, where his overall numbers are stronger, minus his Ks have been almost non-existent when pitching at home. Um, might be worth it. Logan Allen has upside, has shown upside. I'm not sure that I want to pick on Kansas City, but we might have to go there. Brady Singer, kind of want to find out his numbers career against Cleveland, but certainly viable. I mean, really, on the slate, it's 6 pitchers. All guys are going to be viable. I just wanted to kind of talk about them quickly. Uh, with Wu, Povich, and maybe even Sears being, the guys that I prefer over the other three at this point. But let's take a look at the main slate. Not sure we have really any weather to deal with. Maybe some weather in New York, but nothing too crazy. Some wind blowing out in Cincinnati and in Washington. So maybe there is some spots to take advantage of from an offensive standpoint. Pitching wise, Tanner Houck should be the chalk of the slate, taking on a weak White Sox offense. He's allowed 1 earned run or less in 4 straight starts. It's been spectacular. Even more dominant on the road. Just a great 2024 season for Tanner Houck. Looking like a K prop of 6.5. Juice is on the under, but still a 6.5 K prop on this slate. Going to be pretty strong. Very interested in him. Sonny Gray, probably a pretty strong bounce back spot. He did strike out 10 against Philadelphia. He's showing a ton of K upside. We obviously know the Colorado offense is weak. He's been absolutely dominant when pitching at home. in St. Louis. K prop of 6.5. Juice is on the over. I assume he's a strong favorite as well. Minus 230, which to me says a lot because the St. Louis offense just isn't overly strong. Back to Hulk, he is a minus 230 road favorite as well. So a couple guys that should be extremely popular. Reynaldo Lopez can still be strong, taking on one of his former squads. Um, as you know, I don't really love taking pitching against Washington. He's a minus 175 favorite. It's not that I think Washington's a strong offense. It's just they tend to limit some pitchers' upsides because they aren't big K guys, etc. His K prop's 5.5, but Juice is on the under. I think he's certainly viable, but he's not somebody I'm going to prioritize, especially with the two guys above him. Walker Bueller, worth a sprinkle to me. He has flashed the upside. Ks, 7 Ks in 2 out of his last 3 starts. Home runs remain being an issue. Uh, Definitely one where I want to stack Pittsburgh, but I don't mind getting some exposure to Walker Bueller. K prop of 5.5. Juice is on the under. He's a minus 185 favorite. Uh, this game is tied for the highest total on the slate with the Cincinnati game, but I think Walker Bueller's worth a sprinkle, but that's about it. Pablo Lopez against the Yankees. I'm not gonna go there. Um, he just hasn't looked the same guy. He sprinkles it in, but that was against a Seattle team that strikes out a ton. He gave up a ton of base runners to this Yankee squad less than a month ago, so I have no reason to look to use Lopez. The Yankees offense is just getting it done. Do have a little bit of interest in Stroman. He shut down the Twins the first time he faced them. K numbers weren't there. Walked more than he struck out, but he's a minus 155 favorite. K prop of just 4.5, but Juice is on slightly on the over. I think Stroman makes more sense, so I'll most likely be sprinkling him in. Hunter Green struggled with the Cubs first time, a lot of walks. That can be his issues. He's kind of cut back on the home run issue, but the walks are still there. Uh, K's aren't as dominant this season. Uh, I think he's pitching a little bit more to try to go deeper in some games. He's still going to rack up pitch count. K prop's at 7.5. Juice is on the under, but still 7.5, and he is a minus 125 home favorite. I think we have to play him just because I feel like there's a lot of upside in him. It's just very volatile. I would say his volatility is very similar to Walker Bueller. Big thing here though is the Cubs have been struggling quite a bit, so uh, maybe Hunter Green is somebody that we want to take a stand on and maybe try to, I don't know, double the field weight. I haven't looked at any percentages. If you tell me he's going to be 25% owned, I'm definitely not going with 50%. I don't think. Um, It'll be interesting to see how the slate breaks down as the day goes on and the research is done. Javier Assad faced Cincinnati his last time out, was pretty solid. He's been pretty solid all season long. Not as strong on the road from a actual game performance wise. Fantasy points per start, he's been stronger on the road. Um, Walks are down, but he allows more home runs, more hits, more strikeouts. So Cincinnati's offense coming out of Coors, the offense itself just dominated well in Coors. But again, coming out of Coors, is there a mini hangover? I'm not sure. This ballpark is obviously built for offense. The Sots K prop is just 5.5 with Juice on the under, which seems like a low K prop, but um, I'm not sure. I haven't been a huge Assad fan, but he has impressed me enough this year with some of his ability. But these home run balls can bite him, and in this ballpark, I'm not sure. Walks coupled with home runs. Next thing you know, the Reds have 7 runs. So I think he's viable, but I'm not, I don't know, not happy about using him, and I might be looking for a reason to remove him from my pool. Not going to use Mitchell Parker against Atlanta. He's given up 3 runs in 4 straight starts, 5 of his last 6. Can be some home runs, some walks. I just don't think there's enough upside in the spot for him. K prop of 4.5. Juice is on the over, but he is an underdog at home. Game total of 8.5, with juice on the over as well. It's like Taconi, pretty impressive actually against the Mets his last time out. Just 71 pitches, 4 2/3. Doesn't look like he's going to go overly deep. He's had some pretty rough starts, San Diego being one of them. He's been pretty strong on the road though. Just not a huge K guy. It's just road underdog here, slight one. Um, K prop of just 3.5, juice on the under. It's a pretty low K prop. I don't think I'm going to get this Ciccone at all, unfortunately. He is somebody that I've definitely used previously, but I just don't think there's a need to go there. Bailey Falter has been really nice in the last few starts, even against a difficult Atlanta squad, but I just don't really want to pick on the Dodgers. It's as simple as that. Cal Quantrill, I am somewhat interested in him. The Dodgers got to him his last start, but he had 5 straight starts of 20 plus fantasy points, dropping a 36.9 against Pittsburgh. Um, there's some intrigue here for me. He's actually been better at Coors, which is a little shocking. But he hasn't been horrendous on the road either. Um, I actually think there's some upside here, to be honest. So I think I'm gonna dart throw some Cal Quantrill this evening. He definitely, I mean, I don't really think he's approaching 37 DK points again, but he's had a really strong stretch recently. And we know that the overall St. Louis lineup hasn't been all that great. Obviously, a couple guys, especially Nolan Gorman, have been hotter, but uh, Quantrill was once, I think he was a first rounder. Um, so obviously a very talented pitcher. So I think he's worth, I don't know, maybe a 15% play on the evening, maybe 20%. Just kind of depends on how the percentages work out and all that. But there we have it. There's the first look at pitching for today. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.